Good morning. We are live. Let me see, y'all. What we're going to talk about today. I am Adam Mangold, the least humble host on your YouTube dial. I want to thank y'all for coming in, checking us out. Try and get the link out to people so that we can actually have some audience. Forgive me, my mouth is incredibly dry this morning. A little protein going on. That's good. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Pinched a nerve in my stomach there. That didn't feel great. Let's hop over to the Sports Center. Content live. Haha. Let's just do it this way. See if I can. That's what I wanted. I really didn't necessarily want to bring it up. Okay, good. At least it'll be quiet. I don't have to worry about having feedback. Come on. There we go. Copy. This would be so much easier if I wasn't colorblind. Or technologically inept. Either one. I wonder if I can do it over here. Let me try that. It might be easier. I wonder if I... At least the audio is good. There we go. Yes, I can do it from here. Copy link. And there's the link to the show, and then we'll tweet. I wish I still had a Twitter because I had like 1,000 followers on Twitter. Paste. And post. And I only look half dead. As opposed to normally when I look all dead. There we go. There's a little Sports Center. Yep, dropping that out of there. So what a game in Montreal last night. Let's go ahead and start there. Montreal leads that series 2-1. It's that's how I kind of expected it to go, honestly. It's because when you have a season like or when you have I totally put it on upside down. Anyway, when you have a team like Montreal, a Carey Price who's standing on his head and is playing absolutely out of his mind, and you have guys buying in and believing what you're selling, that makes the game so much easier to play. And what I saw from Montreal is I saw a team buying in. That's what I have. That's what I feel is going on, is that you have a Montreal Canadiens team buying in and believing in what they're doing. So I think that I think the Canadians are going to be a tough out. Honestly, if I was Tampa Bay or New York, I wouldn't want to face either one of them. I wouldn't want to face either one of them right now. Or I wouldn't want to face Montreal. A little creatine in the morning and get you going. I need a shave. Oh, let's see. What other headlines are in the news right now? Let's just do. Actually, because my computer is slow as shit when I'm trying to stream, I am just gonna do it this way. Sports. Let's just see what they have in the news. Sweet. The full crowd in New York City this weekend. Since the return of fans to the stadium, nothing has been quite matched. Oh, fuck off. I really hate the Washington Journal or the New York Times. The NBA is getting a new ball. Gross. I guess I will move on to the NBA finals. And we'll go. We'll talk about the Lightning Islanders series a little bit. Road America. Oh, they're going to be in Road America this weekend. Ooh. Grosjean turned in the fastest lap. We'll come back to that in a minute. I want to talk about briefly talk about the Actually, hold on to that. If Brad comes on, I'll talk to him about that. So, Grosjean turned in the fastest lap in practice this weekend so far. Oh, let's see. Let me look at the speed chart. This is the full speed chart in a PDF. Johnson is 3 seconds out the lead. That's okay. That's okay. He's building. He's building. He's gonna run off. He's gonna run again next year. I'm kind of hoping he'll run the full schedule next year and actually run the ovals and compete for the title too. Especially if he can hold him off in the next year. But no. So your top 5 are Grosjean, Hunter Ray, Newgard, Palau, and Graham Rahal. And then Award is 11th. Dixon is 12th. Somebody Hinchcliffe is 20th. Um, yeah, I would like to see Grosjean do well. I hate the fact that he stinks. It's tough. It's tough when you have him out there being nothing but a moving chicane, and he's in the way, and he's taking up space, and he's getting in. Ooh, let's see. What did she say? Oh, she made a tweet about. Okay, yeah, I don't care. Um, I've said this for a while. There's no driver I want to see fail. There's no driver that I dislike that I don't want to see succeed. Um, I don't want to, and not necessarily win, but I don't want them to be in the way. I don't want them to do dumb shit and cause an issue for the rest of the drivers out there on the track. Um, and so that's when I'm hoping that Grosjean can do better. I don't want him to be a moving chicane week in and week out, like he has been to start. I mean, he'll be fast for a little while, and then he'll stink. So I really hope that I hope he can get it figured out and um can be there at the end, um, and he can make some hay. Doo doo doo. I guess I should probably prepare for the show a little bit better. I guess we'll keep on the motor sports theme. NASCAR is in Nashville this weekend, and it was a pretty good race last night in Nashville for the trucks. Honestly, I think the trucks put on some of the best racing right now. Um, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a lot of fun to see what the trucks can do. Um, and 31-year-old record. Wow. Um, I think the truck racing is fun. And I don't get me wrong, I like all of the racing, but I think truck racing is some of the best racing. And then the Xfinity is a little bit later on, with qualifying being this afternoon in a couple hours. Um, mm. So it was a lot of fun last night watching the truck race. Check out a little UFC action on ESPNU or news. I remember when they first brought out ESPN News, and I remember when ESPN Classic first came out, and I was excited because I was like, oh, I'll be able to see all those games, from the 70s and 80s and the 60s that I missed that I didn't get to see, and all, it'd be really cool. And I tried to watch them, and I'm like, I already know what's gonna happen, and so this isn't fun to watch. And the only ones that I ever really enjoyed were the classic boxing matches that I'd never seen and I really didn't know anything about. So those were fun to watch. But watching old NFL or NHL games or MLB games, the broadcast kind of stunk. And I got so used to being so ingrained in my membrane, if you will, that the having the box, or not the box score, but the score. What do they call that? There's a word for it, and it's not coming to my brain. Having the score on the screen. I guess the technical term is score bug. Having the score box or scoreboard. That's the word I was looking for. Having the scoreboard on the screen, and knowing exactly how much time is left, what time how much time is elapsed, how much time is elapsed. What's the score, and it's become it's become part of the just part of what we do, that when it's not there, I'm so totally lost. And so, having it on the screen, you know, it just became part of what I'm just so used to it. Hmm. So, Ooh. Sorry, was reading. I know that's great content there, guy. Douchebag. But the idea is that so then when they made the switch from ESPN Classic to ESPN News, I thought I kind of thought the same thing. It's like, oh, this will be great. I'll never miss a news story. Whenever breaking news breaks, I won't have to wait until SportsCenter later that night to find out more. And it's not exact, it's not exactly what it ended up being. And so then with especially with the rise of the individual networks like NHL, NFL, MLB, and the NBA network, if there's breaking news in any one of the major four, all I gotta do is just flip over to their channel and watch. Like if somebody gets traded, or if somebody gets hurt, or watching that, if there's big draft, basically injuries and trades, I can just jump over to the MLB network, or the NHL network, or the NFL network, and see what's going on there. And then that's that for that. I've been watching a lot of baseball recently. Let me look at the standings. We're starting to get in the thick of it, and it's really now we really do have a beat on how the season's gonna look. So you've got the Rays at the top of the East, with Boston a half game back and the Yankees 6 back. And then you got the White Sox at the top of the division, Indians 3.5 back. You got the Athletics at the top of the West with the Astros 2 games back. And the worst team in the AL is the Orioles. So we'll hop over to the National League. You got the Mets on top of the East, and the Braves are 5.5 back. You got the Cubs on top of the Central, with the Brewers a game back and the Reds 3 back. And then you got the Giants on top of the West, with the Dodgers 2.5 back. Damn, the Dodgers and the Giants are just running away with the division. But nobody's really that bad in that division except for the Diamondbacks, who are the worst team in baseball, it looks like. It's a 333. Yes, they are the worst team in baseball. Now let's look at the power rankings. These are from ESPN, maybe? No, I thought it said the score. No, ESPN. So this is the ESPN's power rankings. That must be an old one, because okay. Yeah, okay, so this is like a week ago. And they have the Padres at 1, the Dodgers at 2, the Rays at 3, the White Sox at 4, Red Sox at 5, Yankees at 6, Giants at 7, Astros at 8, Oakland at 9. That's just wrong. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Here we go. Here we go. We're finally actually. Okay, for some reason they have the Padres at 1, Tampa Bay at 2, the Dodgers at 3, the Cubs at 4, San Francisco. So when did this come out? June 3rd. Okay, that's still too old. Because let me see if I can find a here we go. Week 11. Let's try that. Because why would we want to put the freaking most recent, most relevant link at the top of the board? Okay, and then don't open it. God damn motherfucker. Okay, here we go. This was posted 2 days ago. Okay, so that the Rays at 1, the White Sox at 2, the Dodgers at 3, the Giants at 4. I'd swap them, but that's just me. The Athletics at 5. I like that. Astros at 6. Red Sox at 7. Padres at 8. Cubs at 9. Mets at 11. Brewers at 11. Mets at 10. Brewers at 11. Toronto at 12. Cleveland at 13. Yankees at 14, Cincinnati Reds at 15, Phillies at 16, Braves at 17. The Braves have got to turn it around. They've been an incredibly disappointing team so far this year. St. Louis at 18, the Angels at 19. The Marlins at 20, who are not bad. They're not good, but they're not bad. And then you have the Washington Nationals at 21, the Mariners at 22, the Royals at 23, the Twins at 24, Rockies at 25, Rangers at 26, Tigers at 27. And the Orioles at 28, the Pirates at 29, the Diamondbacks bringing up the rear at number 30 because somebody has to be last. I think now that we're a month in, now that we're 2 months into the season, we're actually starting to see who's good and who's bad, and who will be good and who will be bad. So I'm okay with it. I think that it's I think it's important to get a couple months into the season before you start. Like when the first week, after the first week, and everybody was like, after the first 2 weeks, and everybody was like freaking out, and then, you get 2 weeks in, and you get 3 weeks, and you get, you're a week or two in, and you've only seen a handful of games. You can't really tell what's going to happen. It's not like the NFL where you're 3 games in, and when we know who's good and who's bad. And so, I definitely think that you have to wait a couple weeks. I like to wait. I like to wait until June. I really do. I like to get about halfway through, and then you can really see what's what and who's who. As you start getting worried about it too early, and then it's start freaking out too early, and so then and then you don't have. Meh. and then you don't, now you know what you have for the most part. Now you know the teams that might be looking to make a move. And let's go back to the standings real quick, and we'll look at teams that might think about making a move to get some help. Are probably the Yankees and the Sox and the Indians and the Astros. They might be buyers in the at the trade deadline. The Phillies and the Braves will probably be buyers. The Brew Crew might be buyers. The Reds might be buyers. The Cardinals could be buyers. The Dodgers and Padres are probably buyers. And then you're looking at everybody else as sellers or potential sellers, like the Pirates and the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, if they have anything to sell. And that all depends on when the trade deadline, I think the trade deadline's at the end of July. MLB. Oh, trade deadline. That's what I was looking for. Yep, July 31st. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we still have another month and a half before we even hit the trade deadline. So I don't know. I don't know where we'll be at. We'll have to look back at on this on today in the middle of July. We'll come back to this in the middle of July, and we'll have a much better idea of who who may or may not be buying and selling at the trade deadline. Mm. Herp to derp. My brain totally went blank. Yeah, I work on this show all week, and I think about things. Oh, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that, and I can't wait. And then when I get on the show, I'm like, derp. What was I going to talk about? I have no idea. Playing at a college stadium, huh? Bucks Nets game 7 tomorrow night. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't talked about the Clippers moving on yet. I said that as much on Thursday. I thought they were going to get it done, and then of course they did get it done. And so I was excited about that. I just like being right. So that was cool. It was cool to see them get that done. For the first time in franchise history, actually going to the conference finals. We had to. Is it time to admit that Doc Rivers was the problem in LA? Or are they just I think you have to seriously consider that Doc Rivers was the problem. I don't know. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I wish I'm so jealous of TV and all their fancy graphics and the producers and their production qualities and their team, and their production meetings and having actual things to talk about and not having to scroll their Twitter feed to find more shit to talk about. Oh my god, that looks good. Ugh. Again, looks like an old track smoothing device. Wow. Look at them old cars. I got Lost Speedways on. It's actually a really cool show. If you like motorsports and you like learning the history of motorsports and some of these old defunct tracks that are um no longer around, are no longer holding races. Um, to look at some of the old footage and from the 50s and the 40s. People think that part of it, an old glass bottle, an old fifth bottle. That's crazy. Um, and motorsports. People think of rum runners, and that's how NASCAR got its start. But people were racing cars ever since you could race cars. The first Indy 500 was in 1911 or 1912. Um, I want to say 1912. No, it was 1911. I was right the first time, and it took like 6 hours to complete with an average speed of 74 miles an hour. Um, wow. It offered a purse of 27,550. I'll go back to that in just a second. I just want to see what. No, I don't want. Aha, here we go. So we're gonna go 1911. We're gonna take 27,550, and we are gonna calculate. Come on, calculate. Or don't. You ridiculous piece of crap. Oh, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't go back to. Maybe I can't go back to 1911. Let's go to. It would be $77,749,123.46 in today's money. $250,000 to the winner of the Indianapolis 500. I think today's purse was a little bit bigger. Yeah, $10 million. An estimated $10 million. Good God. So the total purse was divided up amongst the 33. Amongst the 33 the 33 drivers, with him walking away with $1.8 million. So not quite, a little bit more, but not as much more as you would think. Well, now if we do it this way, we take 550 divided by 27,550, so that's $834. And then we take 834. Yeah, I think he made a little bit more money this year than he would have, 110 years ago. So now to go back to the Indy 500 in 1911 and there we go. On the Harman Motor Car Company, they won the first Indy 500. Actually, there was way more. There were 45 entrants. Yes, it took almost 7 hours, 6.5 hours to complete the race, and he earned 250. So let's go back to our calculator, and of course it's not going to give because they won't go back any further than 1913. 14,250. And we'll calculate it. So he would have made $387,477.65 this year in today's money. So yeah, Elliot made a little bit more. Just a smidge. It's fascinating to watch and look at the numbers and crunch the numbers and see how much more prestigious motorsports is now than it was 100 years ago. In 1911, I think the top sports would have probably been boxing and horse racing. Golf, tennis. Soccer. And then like decathlon. Interesting. I didn't know they had been doing female tennis since 1911. Interesting. What else should we get into? Oh, we didn't talk about the SRX had their inaugural race last weekend, and it was pretty damn good racing. So I'm excited to see what they have tonight, if I remember that it's on. And it is on main NBC at 8 o'clock tonight, I believe. Yeah. And it starts at 8 o'clock. And it runs till 10. It's 2 hours. They're in Knoxville, Iowa. Not Knoxville, Tennessee, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd have been there this weekend. But I can't go all the way out to Iowa. That's like probably a 10-hour drive. An 8 or 10-hour drive. Everybody knows. Wrong one. Yeah, it's 12 hours. It is 12 hours from here to Knoxville, Iowa. So, yeah. Not gonna happen. This show will probably not be back next week. I have planning, as long as it's not gonna be too crazy hot all day. Looks like we got a little bit of rain. 30% chance of showers next Friday. As long as it's not gonna be crazy hot. So we're looking at, yeah, it's gonna be nice next weekend with a little bit of with potential for rain. It'll be interesting. I'm planning on taking a camping trip next weekend. And you're looking at 31, 42, 48% chance of rain. Mixed clouds with sun scattered rain. Sunday, 40% chance of rain. And then Friday, isolated thunderstorms in the morning, mostly cloudy skies late, high of 86. Yeah, I think, next week I'm planning on taking a camping trip here because I don't want to try and go camping in the fall when college football is on because I can't wait for college football. So I don't want to be taking a camping trip when it's going to be during college football. No. As much as I like camping, Jesus. Can we talk about pregame for a second before we go off the air here tonight? You can't have this was supposed to start a half an hour ago. I kind of wanted to watch the soccer game here. UEFA, it's Portugal and Germany. I kind of wanted to check out the beginning of it. And it was supposed to kick off half an hour ago. And it's now they're just now finishing up pregame ceremonies. There is no reason that you need an hour of pregame and then another 30 minutes of pre-game before you start the game. You know, it's really frustrating when a game's supposed to start at 9 o'clock. I got the Vegas and Montreal when it was in Vegas. And there was half an hour before we even got to puck drop. They come on at freaking 8 o'clock. And they haven't even done the coin toss yet. They're doing coin toss. And now they're going to get started. Good God Almighty. It's Germany and Portugal. I'm not really into soccer, but it's on and I kind of wanted to see, give it a chance. And it's incredibly frustrating because I wanted to, this should have been already going. And it's ridiculous that, we have another half hour before it gets started. It does look like a nice stadium. I'm not sure where they are. That's a very nice little stadium they got there. And now we'll get it going. Or not. So that's incredibly frustrating. Oh my God. Okay, now the ball is ready for play. Looks like a nice day in wherever they are. Good day for soccer. Okay. What are we waiting on? There we go. And now we're going. But it's incredibly frustrating to have a game and it be they are in Germany. They're in Munich. and have the game be on schedule for at 11:30, and have it not start until 12. Thankfully it did get going right at 12, which was probably actually the scheduled kick time. But it's incredibly frustrating to put the game on and it not be going at the start time. It's 1 o'clock. That's why I always liked Tigers Radio. You have 15 minutes of pregame, and then 5 minutes of opening ceremonies, and then you go. First pitch was at 105 or 110 every Sunday. And then, evening games would be like 7:05 would be, if it was a 7:30 first pitch, then we'd come on the air at 7:05 or 7:15. You have 15 minutes of pregame, and first pitch is at 7:35, maybe 7:37. But these games that are starting at 8 or 9 o'clock, and then you're not getting going until 8:30, 8:40, 9 o'clock, or 9:30, 9:45. Like the the NBA, the NCAA basketball championship game doesn't start till 9:19. And TV wonders why its ratings are dipping. TV wonders why people don't want to, there's so much else going on every day. And excuse me. There's a game drags on until midnight because you didn't start it for a half an hour. And they wonder why nobody wants to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's show for today, as it were. I didn't get a late start, so I'm only doing an hour today. I thank everybody that came on, checked it out. Don't forget to comment, like, sub, and share. That's the biggest thing. Just share it out. And the more you share, the more views I get, the better I can do. Again, like I said, I won't be here next Saturday. I won't be on and Thursday is canceled as well. So I'm off the rest of the week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Back over on the Walker Report with Bradley Walker. Yeah, that was attractive. We'll edit that out, right? Yeah, I don't have anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you all for watching. Come back in a couple of weeks. Maybe 3 weeks. I know this show won't be on again until the second week in July. So we will see you then.